Hello friends, my name is Ramsu. Today we shall discuss about topic that what is web service. Friend, today's topic is very interesting, especially if you have interest in technology and web services and you want to learn about it. So let's start friend. First of all, I would request to please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell option as well so that my videos can reach to you, and also you can follow me on the Facebook page as well. Friend, web service is basically a service which is hosted at a web server and it provides some service. Like it is two words, web service. When we talk about web, basically we are talking about internet. That means it is based on the client server architecture, that on the server web service is hosted and the client basically response request, for example request to server, and then get the response. Okay, so through the internet. For example, you have for example on your website you want to use the web service for weather updates, for example, and the weather update is a service provided by some third party, like some other party, some other vendor. So what you will do, you will use their web service, and on from your website will become a client. Okay, so from your client you will request to the server hosted on the weather server to get an update from the weather, and whatever the response you will receive about the weather you will display on your website. So basically web means internet, and service means any service means, for example, stock service, which provides you information about a stock exchange. Another service is the currency exchange rates. Okay, so whenever you call the service, it will give you the information about a stock exchange. Another service example is that, for example, it will convert from one language to another language. For example, from English to Urdu, whatever the text you will provide, it will convert the English to Urdu language, or English to some other language, for example. So what you will do, this service is hosted somewhere, okay, some third party vendor, and you will call that service to get an update, to get an answer, and you will use that answer. So here is basically it is based on the client server architecture, which is using the internet format to get the update, and the service is always hosted at web server. Now friend, basically how web services work, basically it basically use the XML language. Secondly, it also use the simple object access protocol, SOAP. This is used to transfer the data. Then web services description language, WSDL. This is used for telling the client application what is included in the web service and how to connect. Then universal description, discovery and integration, UDDI. This is used to list what services are available within one application. It also allows web services to be discoverable to other services. Then representational state transfer, REST. While not all web services use the REST protocol, applications built with RESTful API more lightweight, manageable and scalable. Then web services basically friends is accessible to user over the internet or web. It uses XML for information exchange. It interoperable over any programming language or operating system due to the use of open standards. Is self-contained and self-describing using common XML sentence semantics. Is discoverable through a common mechanism like UDDI. So basically friends, see what happened. For example, you have written a website in, for example, in ASP.NET, for example, and the web services is written in Java. So it doesn't matter, because see, you are just sending a request and you are receiving the response. So it doesn't matter that what is the basically what is the platform used, or basically what language used to do the programming, because it basically independent from all these sorts of things. Now, friend, web services are used for a variety of applications, but the most common use is for reusing the code and connecting existing programs. See, basically, friend, for example, some third-party vendor has already written a web service for weather update. Another service is there which provides you the stock exchange values. So basically, you don't need to write the code again, because these sorts of services are already available. You just need to use those services. However, for using that services, obviously you have to pay for that. For example, for Google Maps, for Facebook APIs, for Facebook services, so you have to, obviously you have to pay for that. But here is the thing, that you don't need to write the code. You don't need to a server to host the services. You just need to make contact with them, and you can use those services. However, it will be purchasable. Obviously you have to pay for that, for especially Google services, Google Maps, and Facebook services, etc. But see, if you write those codes again, and you have to host their services on the web server, you have to do the maintenance, so there are so many headaches are there, so which it will become a huge problem. So the biggest advantage of the web service is that reusing of code and maintenance as well. Then challenges in the web service is that, friend, because web services are hosted on the web server, and you are accessing the web service through the internet. So if there is any problem in the internet, if there is any problem in the bandwidth, in the network, so obviously you will not able to get access to the web service. For example, on your website you are getting the weather update from any third-party vendor. For example, if their server is down, if there is some problem in the internet, if there is any problem in the bandwidth network, so what happened, that you are not getting the response from the web service, and your website will also be down. Your website will also not displaying the result if that particular vendor is down, if the web server of that particular is down, if there is any problem in the bandwidth and network, so you will also affect. So and also one more thing, that if the internet bandwidth is not good, if the network is not good, so what happened, that the slowness is there. Because see what happened, that for example, if client refresh the page to get the weather update on your website, so what happened, that you will call the service of the weather update third party, and then you will get the response from there. So there is some slowness is there, because you are getting the response over the internet from somewhere else, so obviously it's slow. So secondly, if there is any problem in their server and the web server, so it will also affect your website and your work as well, because you are dependent on the third party vendor. If there is any problem in the third party vendor side, you will also face problems, and your website will also be down. So it is very important that whenever you are using the web service, the internet connection would be very good, the bandwidth should be very good, and but the problem is there, that it will create some delay, it will create some slowness in the application as well. So friend, thanks a lot for watching the video. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and thanks a lot for watching the video.